Shalom and good day all, this is Healing29 back again for an indie comic, or some indie comic reviews. And for these indie comic reviews, I'll be covering Final Boss Issue 1, Gatchaman Issue 14, along with Racer X Issue 3. I'll now get things ready and organised for the first one I'll be reviewing. So, moving into first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? It does, to which I give it a 7.5, yes, right, a 7.5 right off the bat. Because this is the character known as Tommy Brazen, who we do get to meet within the story. And you'll get to see what happens in the story with the character. Next is the area of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. And also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we follow the events of World War II, to which we encounter someone by the name of Jay Brazen. And we get to see that they're on a bit of an island of sorts. We don't know where this island is. But we do not know that this is actually happening in World War II. As we slowly jump towards the middle of the story, we finally meet our main character as to who this story is around, and that is Tommy Brazen. And of course, he catches up with a friend that we see here. I didn't quite get the name of the friend though. But he also likes to play some games on him as well. And not only that, we are moving into the area of the industrial district, which we learn that they have fighting bouts. And that's B-O-U-T-S. So as we finally move into the fighting bout, we see Tommy Brazen up against his opponent by the name of Chain Pain. And we learn with some of the powers in this is that, yeah, they are able to do some serious fatalities and damage. So, for the internal art, I give a 7.5 out of 10. Next is the area of the story. So, first things first, do we get anything time-wise? Yes, we do. We learn that we've got some events taking place in the 1940s, so World War II. And also today being used, so in this character's present. Next is the locations that we get to see within the story. So we have the Pacific, we have the Borgs, I think it is, and the Industrial District. Last but not least, the cast of characters consisting of Jay Brazen, Tommy Brazen, and Chain Pain. My overall rating for this is a 7.5 out of 10. If you're someone who enjoys, well, a good bloody fight, like Mortal Kombat-ish, I think this definitely might be a pickup for you. And on the topic of Mortal Kombat, I've still got some Mortal Kombat comics that I wouldn't mind reviewing on the channel. So next we move into Gatchaman Issue 14, starting off with first things first. Does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? It does, to which I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Next is the area of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, the middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as we start off with in the Arctic, we have the Science Ninja team that have been asked to call out to a situation. And of course you can see them all in their scuba gear, as well as the main Science Ninja team headquarters. So whilst this is happening, we get to see a number of the events that are taking place, who they go to save. But also whilst this is occurring, we do also learn that in between some of these pages that haven't been shown is that the Blackbirds are now being sent to take on the Science Ninja team by Galactor, to which we see the Blackbirds right here. For the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the story. Considering how far we are issue-wise, did we get any comic book references? No, we didn't. Next is the area of time. Nothing at all. Moving into the next area, to which we have the locations. We had the Arctic, the Crescent, Coral Reef. We also had Costa Ganya, and the Isle of Listway. The cast of characters consisting of the Science Ninja Team, Galactor, and also the Blackbirds. My overall rating for this is a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move on to Racer X. So, as we move on to Racer X issue 3, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the internal art around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what is happening story-wise with the characters. So, as the story begins, we of course encounter Racer X, who is having some trouble of his own, encountering one of the mobs that are in this particular story. Of course, we do get to see that Speed Racer is on the scene, and of course, we get the introduction of a bit of a love interest for Racer X. And of course, they happen to know who he is. Whether she turns out to be like a double agent or anything, I don't know yet. But this is going to be interesting as to where the next issue will take us, having to do with Speed Racer and Racer X. So for the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the story. First things first, do we get anything time-wise? No, we don't. Next is the locations, to which we learned that this is taking place on the Great Alpine. Next is the cast of characters, to which we have, I think it's Dexter, Rex, who is Racer X, Speed Racer, and also someone else who I have written so terribly that I cannot bring it up in this review, but it's definitely worth checking out. The overall story rating for this is a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.